If your feet don't feel as good as you know they could feel, well, guess what? We just did a lower body masterclass where we highlighted all kinds of movements to help your feet feel amazing. So I wanted to share this clip all about the feet with you right now. So first we're gonna talk about the foot, you guys. The foot is one of the most important things that you can focus on in your body. So if you have pain in your foot, if you have pain in your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lower back, one of the most important things is to start with the foot, because what you're doing with your foot on the ground can affect everything upward from there. So we're gonna go over a couple things on the foot. We're gonna talk about making sure your toes have flexibility. We're gonna talk about activating your arches to make sure your feet become the springs they're supposed to be. And then we're gonna talk about bringing healing blood flow to your feet if you need to, when you have aches and pains in your feet, or if your feet just don't have the type of strength that they used to. We can create more flexibility and bring healing blood flow with a move I'm gonna show you. So let's get started with that, okay? The first thing we're gonna focus on is flexibility in your toes, okay? So a lot of people over time, they wear shoes and their toes start to overlap on top of each other like this, right? We end up with bunions and corns and inflexibility in our toes. It ends up causing aches and pains, okay? Now, yes, we should be getting shoes with wider toe boxes to create more space, but one of the things we can do every single day is we can stretch our toes. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first, we can take each individual toe and we can pull it up to stretch it, the extension of the toe, and down to stretch the flexion of the toe. So just doing this once a night, pulling up on the toe and down on each toe as you go through your foot is one of the best ways just to get a little bit extra mobility in the toes, all right? So this is something that's fantastic. If you have toes that are overlapped on top of each other, and you want your feet to wake back up and do what they're supposed to do, which is support your whole body without aches and pains, then this is a great movement for you. So all I gotta do is stretch them up, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down on every toe on each side. Now from there, if your toes are really cramped together like this from years of wearing shoes, you can start to spread them out like this. Now my favorite way to do this is this. You take a finger and you put it between the pinky and the next toe. Then you take another finger and you see if you can put it between the next toe. Then you take another finger and you put it between the next toe. And another finger, put it between the next toe. What you'll find is at some point it gets real hard because your toes aren't very flexible. But if you can do this and you can sit with your leg crossed over your lap like this and hold this toe spacing for 10 minutes at night while you're watching a show, while you're flipping through your phone on each side, it's gonna create a lot of flexibility in the foot. And when we create that space inside the foot, it allows the foot to heal and allows the foot to function the way it was supposed to function, okay? Another thing that's really cool, you can go on Amazon, you can order these toe spacers right here. This is what you would get if you had a pedicure, right? And you could literally just take this toe spacer like you're getting a pedicure, stuff it between your toes, hold on to those things like this, right? And then just sit back and relax. You can do that on both feet, and these things are super duper cheap. One of my favorite ways to stretch the toes is by just putting a toe spacer between the toes, okay? So, if you guys need to stretch your toes out, if they're clumped together, make sure you do that every night. Stretching the toes up, stretching the toes down, and stretching the toes sideways. Now this next step is really important. This is gonna be something that a lot of people probably suffer with, and that is flat feet, inactive arches, or weak feet, okay? The feet are supposed to be our springs, everybody. So when we jump, the foot's supposed to come off the ground, and when we come back down, we land. The arch is gonna be able to catch the foot as the foot comes back down. If we don't have strength in our arches, then the foot doesn't become a spring anymore. And then all of a sudden, everything is higher impact, okay? That means that our walking starts to hurt more. That means, you know, going downstairs starts to hurt more. God forbid we can run or jump again, especially if we lose that arch in our feet. So it's really important to start working on activating the arches. So I'm gonna show you my favorite drill right now on how to activate the arches using a piece of paper, okay? So here's how it's gonna look. You're gonna take a piece of paper and you're gonna put it on the ground, ideally on like a piece of like linoleum or some hardwood floor, something that's kind of slippery. I'm gonna try to do it here. This is a little bit grippy, so I'm gonna do my best to show you this visual feedback right here. But what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna put my foot down on this piece of paper, okay? Nice and flat. Now from there, I'm gonna lift my toes toward the sky, and what I'm gonna try to do is scrunch the paper. Do you see how this paper's lifted off the ground? See, it's kind of hard to see, but I can stick my finger underneath the paper right there. I'm trying to create a scrunch in the paper by using my arches, right? Now from there, I'm gonna put my other toes down, all the toes down, and I'm gonna grip the ground with the toes while maintaining the ball of my foot on the ground. And I'm just gonna pause there for a second, and then I'm gonna relax and do it again. So what we're practicing is, how do I go from a flat foot, where my foot's down like this, I don't have a lot of arch support, right? To, how do I activate my arches by pulling that piece of paper towards your foot. So again, it's kind of a slippery surface right here. And then putting the toes down, gripping the ground with the toes, and then relaxing, okay? And so every night, if we have trouble with our arches, you can keep that piece of paper next to you. You can put it down on the ground, and you can say, I'm gonna do this 10 times on my right side and 10 times on my left side. Putting that foot down again, nice flat foot, and then we're gonna scrunch that paper as much as we can until we ideally can get a finger underneath it, right? And then we're gonna put the toes down, spread them wide, and grip the ground. By doing this, we're building a really solid mind-muscle connection with the arches of our feet. And this is gonna come in handy here in just a sec when we start to bring the foot and the ankle together in a movement that I'm gonna show you. It's my favorite for getting the feet to do their job, which is wake up and give you balance and stability in the foot, ankle, knee, hip, and lower back all at the same time, okay? So those are the start of the feet here. Let's see here, one more, I got the blood flow, okay? One more for the blood flow. So this one's kind of fun. You're gonna need a little bit of lotion and a spoon, all right? Pretty simple. It's not that much of a rocket science move, and you don't need to have all this stuff here that's like fancy. Instead, we're just gonna put a little bit of lotion on the back of the spoon here, and we're gonna just rub that lotion onto the arch of the feet, right? And then we're gonna turn the spoon on its side like this, and you're just gonna scrape up the arches like this. And you'll feel a little bit of crunchy tissue there, and we'll scrape it back down a little bit over, and we're just gonna continue that motion across the foot. So if you have a little bit of discomfort in this area, that's a little bit fine, but we're just trying to get blood flow to this area. And scraping the foot like this can create a lot of blood flow to the area and can also create flexibility in the fascial tissue. If you have issues with your heel, you can do it on your heel too, but I'd like to use the two hands when we're doing on the heel. So you're scraping a little bit more with a little bit more intensity because the heel's a little bit thicker. But by doing this across the arches, we can bring blood flow to the feet, and that's a really great way to start doing rehabilitation of the feet, especially if we have plantar fasciitis. The one thing that I really want to say about this though is, try this out, and if you do it and it causes more pain afterwards, then this wasn't the right move for you. For some people, this can agitate the tissue. For others, this can bring healing blood flow and create mobility in the tissue that actually feels really good. So again, listen to your body, be smart about it, okay? So this is starting with the feet. The most important things is to regain that flexibility in the toes, regain the ability to fire your arches properly, and then making sure we understand how to bring blood flow back to the feet. Remember, your feet carry you for your entire life, so be kind to them, right? If you have a partner, you can ask them to do massage trades on the feet. You can do self massage on your feet too. Treat your feet really nicely, because if you do, they will carry you, and they'll hurt a lot less, and they'll feel significantly better, and they'll be able to do a lot more for you in the long run. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Lower Body Fix Masterclass. Now, if you're wondering yourself, what else did you teach in the Masterclass? Well, guess what? You can sign up right down below by clicking that link, and we're gonna send you for free the entire Lower Body Fix Masterclass, covering the foot, ankle, knee, hip, lower back, and tons of questions from our subscribers. So go ahead and click the link below, sign up, and we'll send you that link right now.